All right, and we are live at Edgars. So, hello everybody. Nice seeing you again. It has been a very jumpy week for us, but I am very pleased to say that today Colizeum is with us. It's an amazing GameFi project that has been following for the past, couple months. I met the team back in the day. I believe that was a couple months ago, and we decided, that wow, what they are doing is pretty amazing, and we decided to collaborate with them to, over time to build a partnership so we can cross promoting each other product. Because Colizeum, in a sense, is something that I feel the platform bringing that solution to a lot of problems. Like past 1 or 2 years, I've noticed that we had a lot of GameFi projects that were dying because they had problems with the tokenomics, sustainability, and I believe that Coliseum is fixing that. But I'm not going to say more. I have a co-founder of Coliseum, Edgars, and I think he would be the best person to talk about projects. So, Edgars, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. And I would like to ask you, maybe you can first introduce yourself, your background.
Totally. And first of all, thank you for having me. It was a really great intro. Yeah, maybe I can just start by introducing what's our vision and basically what's the main idea behind the Coliseum. So we as a team, we have been pretty much working and living together for past 8 years. We've been, I don't want to use the term OG, but we've spent some significant time in Web2 gaming industry. So at some point, we quickly started to realize the existing problems in Web2. And the moment when we came in Web3, we understood that a lot of GameFi, not the GameFi, but a lot of Web2 games, they see a huge potential there. But the trick is that you have to think differently. The business model is different. A lot of these companies are struggling, not because they don't have this know-how, but also smaller studios usually don't have resources to build out blockchain teams, and there are a lot of other things you need to take care of to successfully launch your project in Web3. So with the Coliseum, we are basically building a bridge between Web2 and Web3. Not as a token bridge, but generally we are helping existing web developers, Web2 developers, who are they know how to make great stuff. They know how to make good games. So we're helping them to come to Web3 with our SDK. But if we zoom out a bit more, what we saw in a Web3 environment, usually, like you said, the problem is about sustainability, about tokenomics. And I myself, I'm quite a fundamentalist. So I like to dig till the point that there is nothing else to remove, right? And we made, and this is at the core of Coliseum, it's our universal play turn model. So if you look around in the market, and when we started, there was not apps like Steppen. Right now, it's not only play turn or move turn, it's basically X to earn. So do whatever to earn, we can track it, we can reward it. And we have built universal play turn economy, which can track and reward different types of activities. For example, it can be games, it can be fitness apps, it can be learn to earn, whatever we can track, we can reward. And this was kind of the click for us, because we understood that one part of sustainability lies in the fact that there is constant inflow of new content. It shouldn't be just artificial value behind those earnings. It should be actually value created behind. And
Right.
by putting everyone in a one model, we are basically giving a chance for platform to reward the best projects and not reward the bad ones. And this sort of competition over the time just increases the value of the whole platform and whole token. Yeah.
So it's very interesting that you mentioned that you coming yourself from the Web2 world, right? So I would like to know more about your background. Were you like a game developer back then, or what were you doing in the Web2 before you
Okay. Yeah,
and your team decided to make Web3?
we started back in 2014 as
Wow.
independent mobile game development studio. So we've been working for quite some time. We have published many successful titles back in the day. Many of them were featured worldwide by Apple. Latest title we made was a game called Dystopia: Concept of Heroes. This was actually a huge project. We got a partnership with Conor McGregor as like a brand ambassador for the whole
Oh
project.
wow, that's pretty amazing. Yeah.
We received, I think it was back in 2020. It was best strategy game of the year by Huawei. So, and at that point, we understood that we can make really, really great things, but the Web3 is where the future lies. And we wanted to put all our energy, all our know-how, all our contacts, everything into this new venture. And this is basically where we are. So it was wild 8 years, a lot of learning, a lot of mistakes, but generally we know how to make great stuff. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. So you are always focused on mobile games before, right?
Yeah, like we have had some experience with the desktop platforms, and I myself, I come from. I don't see myself only as like a game builder. Like we have always been like a tech startup. We just really were passionate about GameFi and game tech. So we really try to like combine these things. So great tech with a great experience.
So now I will talk about a little bit about where we're coming from as mobile developers, because both of us we still are mobile game developers, and we are facing the market, the the point of pretty much exhaustion, where if you are a new game developer going to develop a game on mobile, you pretty much have almost no chance to success, because the market became like monopoly for Google and Apple, and then all the advertising agencies, middle guys that are taking the cut. And at the end of the day, developers are putting all the risk, and if they're lucky, they get 3 to 10% margins to create another games. But on average, their margin is like negative 10%. And do you think that going into GameFi does it fix that problem? By eliminating those middle guys.
Totally. Like, yeah, and totally, it's kind of unfair when like these platforms only participate in upside and they have no potential exposure to any like losses. And but of course, it can happen there because Web2 is really centralized and it's been quite a years when it started. So we have to keep in mind that also that market is very, very mature if we compare it with the blockchain. But regarding the value distribution, I think that would be kind of the main angle how to look on this. It doesn't only affect developers; it also affects players, because the same principle, basically, if the Apple is forcing you to like compete in centralized system and they are extracting everything they can from you, you are actually forced to do the same from your customers. So this is like revenue model, which is pretty toxic in the sense that it just focuses on extracting value from your customers and giving in return as less as possible. So optimizing costs versus increasing like revenue. And with the Coliseum, we understood that the fundamental part of whole system is the players and its customers. So I think it's about building a system which by design could give back to those players. We came up with so it's actually quite a coincidence that we are talking here, and just a few days ago there was like a new trend upcoming, and we have been like working on that for almost a year. So it's called
Wow.
free to own. Maybe you have
Mhm.
heard of own. And that's general concept where we are distributing the main assets of the platform for free, and they act as NFT factories. So
Wow.
we have this system where we will be distributing actually in a bit more than a month. We'll have a mint
Mhm.
for our NFT elite cards. So these will be cards which act as a game passes. So they will enable you to earn. But more importantly, these will be the only assets ever in the Coliseum which will print out more different assets. So we will be like doing some sort of like a fair launch with a free mint where we will be distributing these all assets to our community for free, and basically putting in their hands incentive and rewards for building up the Coliseum from scratch. So I
Mhm.
think it's that way. When we did our fundraise, we collected money from VCs. It allowed
Mhm.
us to build a great product, and now it's just fair that we give this product to the community and basically allow them and make them part of this journey. So it's coincidence that just recently Freedom came up as a trend, but this is something what we've been working on for like more than 6 months. Yeah. So
So, so, so you put a couple things about like as a user's behavior and as maybe a private investors. You mentioned that elite NFTs, but let's think about our like community, your community and our community. How can they participate now? What they can do to be involved, to get to start understanding your project, to have a chance of getting those free NFTs that you mentioned for? Like what the currently the user need to do?
right now, one way to basically get on our map is to be
Mhm.
active in the communities. So we have
Okay.
like a lot of different documents out there describing how the system and economy will work. At the same time, there is already content which just waits for your feedback. So one
Mhm.
thing we really reward is the feedback. And if you're
Mhm.
active and if you're like giving us a feedback, we will be more than happy to have you as a part of our like NFT draw, and we will just give you a whitelist. But like officially, we will start to do these whitelist campaigns in like a
Mhm.
week.
Oh
So
wow,
it's a
perfect time to
really
promote.
totally, and I think that just be active, just see what we are posting, just follow us on our communication, and you will definitely have a chance to get it.
So, just a quick reminder to Reality Gang. If you are active and you want to know more about Coliseum, you can go to coliseum.com. It's with a Z, and then you can join the Discord and learn about the project, and you will have a chance to, just by being active, to be whitelisted for their NFT drop. Am I right?
Correct, correct. We will
Cool,
definitely
cool.
give you a few of these.
Definitely. And you also mentioned one thing that it's about the elite NFTs that you are creating. And I remember I saw it. When I saw it, I was like really wowed because the type of the art that you're using. I am big fan of World of Warcraft. So it's more like a comic type of stylized graphic, 3D stylized graphic, and also on the mobile games I used to play Clash of Clans, and I see that you are kind of going that direction. When I see those elite NFTs of those gladiators, I was really like impressed. Like I was really feeling, wow, I want to get the way to get those NFTs. I'm willing to actually buy them whenever they launch, whenever they are minted. And I remember, please correct me if I'm wrong, there were around 5,000 of those elite NFTs, and they were not yet for sale when last time I checked. If I am a private investor, like or retail investor, how can I acquire those elite NFTs, and what those elite NFTs are going to do for me? What are the utilities of them?
Okay, so yeah, I'm happy you love the art. That was
Cool.
something we
Love it.
really want
Love it,
to
man.
stand out.
I mean, yeah.
So the idea was with them to represent, like, it's kind of written in its name, elite. So these are like the high class rulers, and they will actually be the owners of Coliseum. So they will be responsible for every single player we will ever have on Coliseum. So the main utility of elite is to mint new gladiators, and only a gladiator is basically the same, has the same rights to play games and earn, except the fact that they cannot mint new cards. So these 5,000 cards will be responsible for all supply ever what we will have on a Coliseum. So they will essentially own all the community and all the players. So this is some sort of like a governance what we are building. From the art perspective, our like initial vision was to create like extremes. Like if you seen the Hunger Games, there was like
Oh
this
yeah.
Capitolium,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
everybody
That
was
was.
crazy. And it's kind of like some reference in ancient Rome when like you had this high class. They were like really extravagant. They were extreme. They were over the top. And this was the idea to create the same feeling when you look on them and you look on that collection from artistic perspective, because they are essentially like PFPs. They become your face in a Coliseum, and it's important that you can find your style, find your look. But from utility perspective, it's super powerful and super simple. You will be able to mint new player cards, which are required to play games in a play turn mode in Coliseum. And you will be also receiving, whenever you mint this card, it will create some sort of like, it will create like a bound between those your card and the newly minted card, and it will allow you to get like a revenue share from every earning what will ever be produced by that newly minted card. So you're essentially creating like a sub community whenever you mint the gladiator. These are
Okay.
like your fighters, these are your guys, and we hope you will be responsible for that.
So you're more like the type of the lord that, or even the general of those gladiators that you control, and eventually all the other NFTs belong to other players, correct?
Correct. Like one easy way to imagine this would be that when Axie started, they did like Origin Axie Mint,
Yes.
and the principle of them is that all of these Axies can breed between themselves with some special rules. But in this case, it would mean that only those origin axes would be able to breed, and those origin axes would be responsible for 6 million axes, or I think even more right now, supply what we
Yeah.
have out there. So they are like pretty much the rulers and owners of Coliseum, and like small NFT factories. We don't even
Okay.
have like plans to mint the new ones. So
Yeah.
will be interesting experiment as well.
Okay. So that's very, very interesting from the point of view. And now I'm thinking, Colizeum. So you mentioned that you are developing this GameFi experience of having those elite NFTs. So it's a pretty much a game, and you also building the platform. So if I'm a game developer, for example, Reality Metaverse, want to join Coliseum, is it possible? And if yes, how to do it?
Oh yeah, totally. Right now, we are aiming to build like a self-service platform which will allow to integrate within a few hours. Right now, we're in the process of that, but you can definitely hit us a message, and we will like jump on a call and give you like instructions. Because at the same time, we're collecting some of feedback. But essentially, it's an SDK. SDK stands for Software Development Kit, and this is something what any game can put in their like existing product. We support Unity. We are planning to support Unreal Engine, and then we are looking to support some more specific web game engines as well. So it's just like plug in and play. And SDK essentially just unlocks you blockchain layer, so you can interact with the blockchain through the API methods like you would with the normal server. And we just take care of everything what has to do with the blockchain.
And regarding the blockchain, what chain are you planning to be listed on, or not sure yet?
We are already deployed on Ethereum. We will be on BSC as well. We are actually already on BSC. We have Bridge Live. And in the future, we are planning to add Polygon. And as well, we are looking on Solana. Not on like our top priority right now, but the goal for us was to be chain agnostic ecosystem. So we are basically looking to bring value in the places which needs us.
Yeah. So the whitelisted NFTs that's going to be given to users, or if I go to your project and got lucky to purchase the elite NFT, are they going to be chain agnostic, or they're going to be in specific chain?
So first thing, you won't be able to purchase them. It will be a mint only for whitelisted addresses, and it will be a free mint. So we will be giving out them for free, but only for people who are
with
whitelisted.
my luck, I'm not gonna get it for sure. Yeah, but I hope maybe somebody from community. Yeah.
Just about speed, I would say. We will definitely announce like the mint time prior the mint, of course, but it will be on a basis first come first serve. So it will be for whitelists only, and it will be for free. So we will be distributing basically one of probably the highest ever utilities in the blockchain scene for free. And that's, I think, the main goal behind free to own, is to give as much value as you could possibly give to the community and make them owners of like free to own. So make them owners of the platform, so they feel like they're owners. And
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited as well. So I think this is the future of the gaming, and we are here to bring the next chapter of blockchain gaming with Colizeum.
So I'm going to pick a question from our chat because the first question came out from Pixelord, and it's a kind of a question, kind of a statement. He says that one of the things that only stands on the way, it is that it's quite difficult to integrate with blockchain, especially for the Web2 developers. The mobile game or PC or console, they don't know what the solidity is, how to integrate, what kind of language they need to use, and it says that they are willing to, as a game developer, they are willing to create a game on the Web3 if they have services like Colizeum. So what do you think about it? Is it really difficult to integrate on the blockchain?
Of course, that's one of the key barriers for smaller developers to enter the scene. Because imagine you are like 5 people team, and now you have to find. And the one thing with the blockchain is that mistakes are super costly. So so you have to suddenly find like 1 or 2 blockchain developers. And currently, blockchain developers, especially experienced ones, are probably the highest paid developers out there, and you just simply cannot afford that risk. So this is something what we try to solve from the day one with SDK. So we build out all the blockchain infrastructure. For you, it's just take and use the products out of the box in your natural environment. So yeah, that's pretty much the goal, and one of the biggest pains for mid-sized and small-sized studios.
Thank you. There is also another question: where to get the NFTs, and should we follow you on Discord, or should we go to like Twitter, or where's the like for the user best chance to be noticed as an active community member?
So the best advice: follow us everywhere, but we'll be definitely starting to communicate that in a week from all our channels. The mint will happen on our official page, so there you will be able to check that you are like whitelisted as well. So everything will be announced. Like, you're actually the first people outside our office who hears about this. So I'm myself, I'm pretty excited to share. I just thought like this, we have to use like this fireside chats to make something meaningful and share something meaningful. So why not let you be the first to hear out from us this year? So
that's pretty amazing. Yeah. We will soon go to spam our community to let them know that fantastic project like Colizeum exists, because once you really see the quality that you invested in developing your project and your website and NFTs and your vision, I can tell from day one once I was reached out by you that you are a game developer. You didn't have to tell me you are a game developer. I knew it because I have been seeing lots of projects, and this is fantastic. But now you are switching a little bit more like a platform, and there are a couple questions about: are you going to be like competing to Steam, or competing to Play Store, or maybe competing to some upcoming Web3 platforms? Or what do you think? Where is your ecosystem going to?
Yeah, I think we will definitely be competing with existing Web3 ecosystems. That's for sure. When we look on the Web2, of course, like there are established platforms, but the Web3 is not built the same way as Web2. So we don't see them as a direct competitors. They offer revenue model. We offer basically equity model, if I can use that term. So we offer value generation and different way to distribute value, and in return make developers make their living, right? So we will be definitely competing with Web3 scene, and in our vision, we see ourselves as a huge game store hosting multiple thousands of different games, and all of them running on one unified, like it will be like a layer one economy. Developers can build their own economies. They can mint their own tokens. They can mint their own NFTs. But we serve as like a really, really stable, good base. So when you see this thing works, you can start invest more in your game and build more on top of that.
So speaking of the economy, are you planning to have your own platform token?
Yeah, we already have. So we have a Zoom token, and with the NFT launch, we will be also releasing a new secondary token. So this is token what can be only earned in a platform for NFT holders. So we start with a zero supply, and then we basically mint new ones whenever players are playing games. Yeah, it's kind of in a way it's similar but different as SLP in Axie Infinity, or GMT token in GST token in Stepan.
So
Yeah, it
I
would be.
believe that if I go to your community and start playing the games when they launch, I'm pretty much early adopter. So uh, I will gain more than if I'm like hesitating and not sure if I want to because uh, because the increase the supply of the token will increase over time, right? For the
Yes,
platform only
but
tokens.
yeah, but these tokens will be used to mint new gladiators.
Okay.
So it basically means that at the beginning, the only way to get token is to play games by owning NFT player card, like an elite NFT. And these tokens will be used to mint new gladiators. So we have no control over that token. It's
Hmm.
just us looking at what community will decide to do. They control full supply of NFTs, and they control full supply of closing gold. That's by the way the name of the secondary
Hmm.
token. We will
Interesting.
call it like closing gold.
And for that token, you as a developer have absolutely no control. You don't even own it, right?
Yeah, we don't own it. We start with zero supply.
Hmm.
So whenever player plays, he mints.
Interesting. Very interesting model. So we are kind of running out of time, but I will like to ask anybody on the chat, and I'm also going to check on the Twitter if there are any questions. So if anybody of you have a questions, feel free to ask. We prepare some very cool sweat bags for our users. We just printed some cool hats with the reality, some cups. We have some also notepads and other stuff. So feel free to ask, and I'll be happy to pick up. So let me check on the Twitter, and I'll also check on the here. So we have a question from Tushar. Tushar asked, "What's the biggest challenge right now and near future for the development?"
So I think the biggest challenge is to be. It's actually education. It's
Hmm.
educating because what we want to do is we want to contribute to Web3 by bringing in new companies, new products, new people. And one of the trickiest things, and that's always with a new tech, is educating people about it and learning to think kind of the right way.
Hmm.
Because for us, it was kind of forgetting everything you know about how products are built, learning it from a new way, and then just morphing your experience together with new knowledge. And we have to kind of replicate this in easy way for everyone who wants to join the Coliseum. So I think that's the biggest challenge what we have. And that's
Interesting.
the biggest challenge for industry. So yeah.
Thank you. There's another question. I think we can both answer. So it's from Anime Sevdavmis. I hope I say it right. Basically, it's what's the extent of our collaboration? So maybe I will say a few things. Edgars, you can fill in. So basically, reality and Colizeum, we are looking to we are both coming from the same background. We are both game developers on mobile. We started Edgar's company started in 2014. We started in 2015, and about the same time, we are launching games on Web3. They are based on the Web2. We have a slightly different ecosystem where we are focusing on the connection between Web2 games and Web3, and Edgars is building the platforms that can host that and allow developers like us to enter to Web3 easier. Currently, we're focusing on outreach campaigns. We're helping each other to be visible. We will start on the business partnerships in the sense that we will help each other closing different strategic partners, and of course to do special events that are going to happen for the community. So Reality just announced badge system, and some of the badges will be created just for Coliseums and Reality fans. So stay in touch, and we will also doing some future whitelist possibilities, some promotional stuff, and trying to invite more users. Is there anything else, Edgars, that I might miss?
I think you did it like in a really descriptive manner. Only thing I would like to add is that we will definitely save some of those whitelists for your community, and
Thank you.
that's like that. I think the way how we want to build is we want to be owned by communities, and the best way to do that is to give to communities. So with this, we will be just giving some extra things which we haven't thought before this call, before this show. So yeah, I'm just using my time here to say that.
This is a good time to brainstorm new ideas, actually. And yes, somebody mentioned that one of the great way to attract some users in Web3 is to offer them opportunity for airdrops, and I think this is what we are doing with whitelisting. So sometimes the NFTs are not minted yet. The only ways for us to give NFTs that are not minted yet is to put the users on the whitelist, and then once we mint them, we assign those NFTs to them. So yes, I think Colizeum is doing the things very well. I believe just a matter of time before it will become a big project, big platform. And in a sense, our belief, when we are since we are Web2 developers, we are on Google Play and we are on iOS store. However, if you dig deeper inside the space of the Web2, mobile developers also publish the games on Huawei store, on Xiaomi store, or Vivo store, Oppo store, Amazon store, Aptoid, Catapult, so on and so forth. There are like 50 of different stores around the world, and I think this is going to happen to Web3, that some great projects will be on different ecosystems. So I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no, but perhaps Reality Metaverse will eventually be on the Coliseum platform, as well as maybe other platforms, for example, Polygon platform, or Playdap, or others. So it really depends. But the idea for us to have this kind of talks early on is to brainstorm what different projects can do together, so that people can actually have a really easy reach out, and instead of giving the ownership back to all those middle guys, we are giving the ownership back to the retail investor, which is players, basically. Yeah. Okay. So this is a cool question. What is your opinion about Metaverse by Meta? And because Claude Paprika said that image of Zuckerberg became like a meme right now when you're thinking about Metaverse. So what's your opinion about Metaverse by Meta?
I think this is something really huge. About like term metaverse. When they came out with term metaverse on not today, but when they came out with the meta, I think that word got overused so much that it kind of tried to describe everything what is multiplayer as a metaverse. But the thing they're building like a existing layer, like a new layer on existing world, and that's something what can be only achieved with like billions. And I think they will succeed, and when they will succeed, uh, we will either have utopia or dystopia, because that's actually a scary future.
It
And I
is,
think
yeah.
it's it can really fast become really problematic for a lot of people, because what they offer is like alternative life, and that's scary in a way.
Yeah, what scares me the most is that, it's the vision of Meta is again 100% against what blockchain stands for. It's still centralization. The Facebook can shut down servers in a moment. And the worst part is anything between 50 to 90% of all the revenue is kept by Facebook. So,
I think
at the
what's
end of the day,
even yeah, sorry. I think what's even more scary is the fact that the main KPI for Facebook is the online time. So everything is
yeah,
optimized that you spend more and more time there. And what
yeah.
happens when you build the metaverse with the same principle, that you will eventually live there and you will be like addicted, and you will be kind of forced in this economical model what you just described. So I hope I'm wrong, and I hope this turns out to be a lot like much different. But yeah, it's scary and exciting at the same time.
So, I hope you are wrong, because I'm really hardcore gamer and I'm easy to get addicted. And if if this happen, I need to work hard now so I can retire soon, because I'm gonna be out of my life. Yeah. But all right, so we are about to finish. I will give one more chance if anybody wants to ask any question. And let me just check very quickly if there's something on the Twitter. Nothing very interesting. All right, those questions were asked already. So okay, so thank you very much, everybody who joining. I see a lot of people coming in and out, So thank you for coming. Edgars, thank you so much for having you. I know your time is as a co-founder very valuable, but I think it helps me understand more about Coliseum. I hope later when we promote the stream, a lot of our users will be able to find a lot of things they are looking for, and that eventually your community grows, and not because you offering just a freebies as an airdrop, but it grows because you actually building something amazing. So thank you, and thank you everybody.
Thank you for having me. It was a
And
pleasure.
goodbye.
Goodbye.